Hello everyone and welcome to the video supplement for Trollvember Day 8, Wind. Today's prompt was a little bit tricky for me because trolls don't really have any kind of avatar or mysticism kind of element for elements like wind. So my first thought was, okay, what is an aspect of wind? I would say that is speed. What is something that is windy and or flighty and fast? And my thought went to Hermes, the messenger of the gods in the Greek pantheon. So I decided to work with that. I decided to make a female troll because I was trying to do a male, female, male, female, male, female thing, and I made like 3 males in a row. So I'm trying to correct that. And I thought, okay, let's make her a messenger. This is a troll who runs around the place back and forth, carrying packages and letters or whatever else from one location to another location. This is someone who runs fast. This is someone who does things fast and quick and speedy and very windy, I guess, question mark. It's not the best analogy, but that's the best I got, really. So at the start, I was really focused on the hair. I tried to give her a big ponytail just to see if I could add something. I don't think I have too many trolls with hair that goes down to the back or off of the head, really, so I thought I would play with that. And I knew that I wanted to give her an Osgoo that was a little different from all the others. Almost every other troll that has an Osgoo is wearing one that looks pretty much the same. They're all more or less identical. I wanted to try something different here, and I wanted to try to make them look something like wings going up and to the back. Because again, I'm picturing Hermes here, so when I picture Hermes, I picture the winged helmet or the winged boots, which are wings going from a source and then up into the back. So I'm trying to emulate that with her Osgoo here on her head, having them go from, again, up into the back. It takes a few attempts and a lot of redesigning, but eventually I do get it. And I feel like it really works out okay. Not entirely sure if I'm happy with it, but it's pretty good, I think. It at least gets the job done. From there, I know that I want to give her some kind of a pouch, a satchel, something to deliver stuff in. In hindsight, maybe letters isn't something she delivers because I feel like I said earlier that trolls probably don't have too much of a writing system, or at the very least it's not used by most trolls, so I don't know. And after I gave her the satchel, I thought, okay, this is a fast troll, so they probably aren't going to be wearing too much. They don't want to be wearing anything heavy, because their main goal is go fast, be quick from one place to another. So I gave her a bit of a low-cut crop top situation. This kind of ended up giving her a bit of a tomboyish look, I feel. I also gave her some light pants. Almost all of her clothing is made out of cloth, with only a little bit of good leather and a little bit of hide. Not a lot of either one. I think the satchel she has around her side is about the most she has. There isn't a lot more beyond that. I was a little unsure on if I wanted to give her shoes or not, because on the one hand, shoes would help protect the feet when running from place to place over potentially hazardous terrain. On the other hand, I feel like she would be the type to believe that she runs faster when not wearing shoes. So ultimately what I did is I just put shoes on the pant layer, on the second layer, so that if she wants to, she can just take off the shoes. That's all she has to do is take off the shoes and she's golden. So yeah, I gave her shoes, but only on second layer. Again, they are made out of good leather with a cloth lining. I'm thinking that's like the interior is made out of cloth and it's just kind of spilling out a little bit, just to give her extra comfort, because the main goal here is, again, her feet are her greatest asset, effectively. I also tried giving her a little thigh satchel to try and separate her legs, because what I have with her pants is an attempt at shorts. Again, I'm trying to do shorts, not a single skirt, not a dress, nothing like that, but individual shorts legs, and I was hoping the satchel could help translate that a little bit, and it kind of did, not super well though, so I had to keep trying. For her arms, I figured, okay, she's wearing a low-cut crop top, tube top situation. She's trying to travel light, so she probably doesn't have much of anything on the arms. Eventually what I decided to do was just give her like a series of loops, some like golden thread around one shoulder, like that's her gold supply, because every troll has some amount of gold. So her golden jewelry is these golden ropes around her shoulder. The end result there was pretty promising. There were some things I needed to clean up, but it looked pretty good overall. I think one thing I decided to do was her Osgoot was too large for one thing, and I think her satchel might have been off a little bit, and her shorts just looked too much like a skirt, so I tried to separate those a little bit more. The first thing I did was shrink up the Osgoot, remove them, relocate them, try to make them lower, try to make them higher, to reduce them, make them smaller, stuff like that. Still trying to maintain that wing shape to them. I also thought, okay, she looks a little bland on the head, so let's add some hair. I decided to go with almost a grid pattern, sort of, like she's kind of braided her hair, maybe. And that turns out pretty well, actually. I don't have to touch that too much. It kind of blends in with the rest of her hair, granted, because it's the same color, but it's not too bad. And also, to help separate her shorts, I decide, okay, let's make her shorts shorter and add a trim to them, because I feel like having a trim helps separate the shorts from one another, makes them look less like a skirt. As I've done before, I've also made one leg of the shorts shorter than the other, or one is longer than the other, so that helps. With this, the way I have it now, the pouch looks a bit like it's just blending into the shorts and making them the same size. So I put the pouch on her thigh onto the other leg eventually. I'm also toying with the idea of having a trim on her shirt. And the trim on the bottom looks pretty good, but having a trim on the top makes it look too much like she's just wearing a bra, which isn't what I'm looking for here. So I add the trim to the bottom of the shirt and balance it out a bit so it's a little bit more even and less rugged. It is supposed to be torn up and battered like most troll clothing, but I haven't really been getting that. I'm kind of feeling like maybe all these Trollvember trolls are getting too specialized and too specific, because they're all supposed to be wearing a lot of like torn up clothing, a lot of battered clothing, a lot of caveman-like clothing, and it feels like I'm just not hitting that with the trolls I'm making these days. So I'm not sure really what to do there, except try and just give them more battered clothing and hope for the best, but it's really hard to sell a profession with that. So yeah, I switched the thigh pouch to the other leg and make it a bit higher so that it blends a bit better with the leg. Looks pretty good overall, I would say. Her ponytail I feel needed a bit of work, so I added to that, changed that, and once I had that done, I figured, okay, she's pretty good overall. It's time to texture. So I started texturing all of her hair, all of her clothing. Everything needed the little random dots of random everything going on. For the troll's hair, I'm not sure if I ever explained it in these videos, but to determine troll's hair color, what I always do is pick a color, it's some shade of red, and then I pick 3 alternate colors. One that is slightly lighter, one that is slightly darker, and one that is slightly to the side. So either to the left or to the right of the original color on the color gradient spectrum selector thingy. And that's typically how I choose my troll hair colors. Once everything was textured up, I looked at her once again. There was just a few more minor touch-ups I had to do, but it turned out pretty good. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about her. I feel like I could have done better, but it was a very vague theme that didn't quite fit what I pictured with trolls. Like, if I were making any other character, I probably would have made some kind of wind wizard or wind spirit or something like that. Something like Aang from Avatar, that kind of thing. But it's just not a thing in trolls. The trolls don't have magic, or if they do have magic, then it's very minimal magic, like in the Conan the Barbarian, where it's all like ritual stuff and very low magic situation. I didn't want to do too much there, but by the end of things, it turned out okay. She was presentable. She was good enough for me, I think. The next prompt for day 9 is hospital. So I'm thinking some kind of a doctor character. Unfortunately, that is also the day that I go play D&D, which is I'm not gonna be streaming it. So if you're watching this when it's uploaded, I'm not streaming right now. I'm gonna be at someone else's house playing D&D for almost all day, and I'm gonna be very tired by the time I get home. I'm gonna bring a tablet with me, try and get this done there, but I don't know if I'm gonna have any recording done on it. I don't have OBS on the tablet. I'm not sure if I can install it on there, and so you might just get a static image for the next bit, if anything. I'm hoping I could still like summarize what my thoughts were, all that good stuff. But yeah, still, we got a pretty good troll, a little tomboyish runner messenger troll, loose wind themed, not a lot of heavy clothing, really lightly dressed just to keep her movement going. Maybe some kind of a marathon runner, like 100-foot dash runner, whatever look to her. I don't know. She's got the unique Osgoo that kind of looks like wings on the side of her head. I'm not sure if it sells it. I'm not sure if it works too good, but it's okay. It's good enough for me. With that, though, I'm gonna have to say thank you ever so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like if you liked it. Don't if you didn't. My name is TamTroll. This has been Trollvember Day 8 Wind, and I will see you next time. Farewell!